I got a new um, outlook on the number 666, the number of the beast, the number of man. I came across a document, and I'm not saying that I totally believe this, but it's definitely some interesting information, and I wanted to pass it on. So, here we go. Yahweh, the Almighty God of Israel, is with us. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Isaiah 58:1. Bible prophecy. Study prayerfully and study carefully. Number 666. In contrast to the number 777, the treble sixes represent Satan, the perfection or imperfection, the holy and immature one, the one who will always fall short of Yahweh's moral structure, just as the number 6 will always fall short of the number 7. Perhaps that is why Satan seeks to abolish every sacred seventh portion of time in the calendar of the Almighty. Over the centuries, there have been numerous attempts to explain the number 666, and though some explanations are plausible, not one, in our opinion, has the total ring of truth about it. Nothing has the ring of truth about it these days. We hesitate to publish on this particular point mainly because we do not want the risk of weakening the clear message of our booklet, Understand the Revelation, by introducing an explanation of the number 666 about which we ourselves are not absolutely sure. Me too. The entire message of the booklet, which is a call to obedience, could be easily set aside by readers who would focus on that one area of uncertainty. Nevertheless, because so many have written to A Voice in the Wilderness Canada, I wonder if they know my soon-to-be, don't know it yet friend, Mr. Naughty Beaver. About this matter, we will list a few popular theories about the number 666 and the various titles of the Antichrist commentators have used in the past. Perhaps the most popular Protestant opinion is as follows. Romulus. This is pretty wild. Romulus is the first king of Rome, and it was after him that the city of Rome and later the Roman Empire was named. The Greek name for Romulus was Latinos. This name in Hebrew is Ramith. In Greek, the name Latinos works out as follows. If you don't know what gematria is, this is gematria. Okay, this is taking numbers and applying letters to them. Normally in gematria, the Jews are real big with this and with Hebrew, and they believe that there is it's called a Torah code, which every number or every letter is assigned a number, and in the Bible, you can there's certain codes you can pick up on. So hidden messages, if you will. Normally, it would be like in the English gematria, it would be A, you lay out the alphabet, A would be 1, B would be 2, C would be 3. Of course, Hebrew, it's a little bit different, but same concept. Anyway, we got L30, A1. This is in Hebrew, the name Ramith also adds up to 666. But as yet, we do not have the breakdown of how this is done. The opinion about Romulus is fairly weighty, especially in view of the claim that in two languages the name Romulus or Ramith equals 666, but the argument still lacks the conclusive something which is difficult to define. Pages, the two Babylons, Mr. Hillsop says the name Latinos has been generally accepted by Protestant writers as having many elements of probability to recommend it, but yet there has been always found a certain deficiency and it has been felt that something was wanting to put it beyond all possibility of doubt. Now, looking at the subject from the Babylonian point of view, we shall find both the name and the number of the beast brought home to us in such a way as leaves nothing to be desired on the point of evidence. Osiris, or Nimrod, whom the Pope represents, was called by many different titles, and therefore, as Wilkinson remarks, he was much in the same position as his wife, who was called Mirianimus, the goddess with 10,000 names. Among these innumerable names, how shall we ascertain the name of which Spirit of God points in the enigmatical language that speaks of the name of the beast in the number of his name? If we know the apocalyptic name of the system, that will lead us to the head of the system. The name of the system is mystery. Here then we have the key that at once unlocks the enigma. We have now only to acquire what was the name by which Nimrod was known as the god of the Chaldean mysteries. That name was Saturn. Saturn and mystery are both Chaldean names, and they are correlative terms, as mystery signifies the hidden system. So Saturn signifies the hidden god. To those who were initiated, the god was revealed. To all else, he was hidden. Now, the name Saturn in Chaldee is pronounced Saturn, but as every Chaldee scholar knows, consists only of 4 letters. Thus, S-T-U-R. Stir, the name Stir, contains exactly the apocalyptic number 666. Here we go, the breakdown. That's pretty wild. And the fact that this right here just came across my path right now is no synchronicity. Well, it is a synchronicity. It's no coincidence, because we have just had 2 major conjunctions with Saturn and the Moon. There's a lot of talk right now of the Golden Age and the Golden Age of Kronos. Kronos is Saturn, and that this is something that I've also been researching, and we'll have a video coming out on. There's a theory that CERN is trying to reignite Saturn as our binary black hole sun, reconnect them with Earth magnetically, making a plasma envelope around Earth and Saturn that they say was there during the Golden Age. And in my opinion, there's a good possibility that Saturn is a prison for some very nasty dark entities, or a dimensional portal that leads to this prison. And once we're hooked back up, they could just like move on in, maybe come back and start some havoc on Earth. I'm not sure, but that's a whole nother video. I digress. Like I'm not ever going to say that again, because there's too many YouTubers saying that. I'm going to say, not I digress, but let's get back to the fucking story. Okay? If the Pope is, as we have seen, the legitimate representative of Saturn, the number of the Pope as head of the mystery of iniquity is just 666, but still further, it turns out, as shown above, that the original name of Rome itself was Saturnia, the city of Saturn. Thus, then it is evident that, in popular opinion, the original Latinos had occupied the very same position as Saturn did in the mysteries, who was equally worshipped as the offspring of the sun. Here we go. Moreover, it is evident that Romans knew the name Latinos signified the hidden one, that is, Saturn, the god of mystery. Going even further in the direction that the numerical values contained in the titles Rome's civil and religious leaders adds up to 666, we find that the Pope bears in this triple crown of words, Vicarius Filii Dei. The title also adds up to 666. Vicarious Filii Dei. Here's the breakdown of the numbers. If you read The Voices in the Wilderness in Canada, Canada's coming up here. I didn't know that they were so esoteric and so connected. Canada's got a lot of stuff going on, man. I mean, they're in touch. They got those Canadians up there. I'm gonna have to start picking some brains. Canadian paper who entitled "Who What is the Antichrist," you will see that we do not believe that the Pope is the beast of Revelation 13. He doesn't fit all the scriptural clues concerning the beast. We have, therefore, set aside this calculation. Various other individuals have in recent times have totaled 666, but the methods used leave much room for doubt. For example, if you gave the letter A to the value 100, B 101, C 102, and so on, then Hitler would equal 666. But that's all bullshit, because that's complicating things, and that's not the simplistic gematria that is got power, or that anybody would use. That's all something else, in my opinion. In our view, this is forcing the issue. There's no good reason for starting the English alphabet at 100 exactly. We're just going to go on past all that because it's ridiculous. Let's go down here. Nothing short of this will satisfy. The beast, as explained in our booklet entitled Understand the Revelation, is a supernatural being who is scheduled to be released from the abyss at the fifth trumpet, the first woe. No doubt, when he makes his appearance, he may not adopt one or more of those ancient titles which are mentioned at points 1, 2, and 3, but that is left to be seen. Yeah, why would you come back and say, hey, y'all, I'm a Nimrod, aka the adversary, aka Satan, aka the serpent, aka Antichrist. Let's get this party started. Shit. I got some free time. Break out the women and the flip all the crosses upside down. Where's my syringe? Writing on the subject in his book Numbers in Scripture, Arthur E. Bullinger has this to say: if 6 is the number of secular human perfection, then 66 is a more emphatic expression of the same fact, and 666 is the concentrated expression of it. 666 is therefore the trinity of human perfection, the perfection of imperfection, the culmination of human pride in independence of God and opposition to his Christ. Huh, pretty interesting. Kind of like controlled chaos. You know, It is remarkable that the Romans did not use all the letters of their alphabet, as did the Hebrews and Greeks. They used only 6 letters. Bam. And it is still more remarkable and perhaps significant that the sum of these amounts to, yeah, there it is. The number 666 has another remarkable property. It is further marked as the concentration and essence of 6 by being the sum of all the numbers which make up the square of 6. The square of 6 is 36. 6 multiplied by 6 is 36. And the sum, the number 1 to 36, is 666. My whole life I've been freaked out by the number 36 or 63. It gives me a weird feeling, a weird vibe. It strikes a chord in me. I don't like it. Anything where I see it at, I try and avoid. If I get a room at a hotel and it's 36, we're moving, or something like that. That's just a bad number for me. And now I've learned why over the past few years. This number 36 is connected with evil in a number of ways. Let's get the fuck back to the story. Just as 6 is the number of imperfection and the 666 the pinnacle of satanic imperfection. 7 is the number of perfection, and the triple seven, the summit of Yahweh's perfection, the absolute perfection of holiness, power, love, generosity, and all those false qualities which belong to the Holy One of Israel, qualities which are discussed elsewhere at this site. That was that on, but that's pretty interesting. I'm not saying that I buy all of this jazz, but I definitely wanted to throw the information out there because all we can do is take all the information we can get and look at it, and we can postulate, we can, you know, always some new information is coming in, so it makes things really hard at the end of the day. But I also find it very mocking and blasphemous that all of the lottery machines, the slot machines, use 777 as their winning number, which, you could say, oh yeah, well, this is God's number, it brings good things. But putting this on a slot machine where people are gambling away their rent money, and you know that the devil did that. That tells me also that 777 definitely has significance as the number of God. Gives more evidence to the fact that it is tied with God or positive things because it's being mocked. So there you go.